And welcome back on this Wednesday morning. Let's quickly go over that forecast. Should be drying out there this morning in the 40s, low 40s that is, but things are going to warm up just a little bit more. 47 for your high today, and of course the sun should come out tomorrow. Pretty much the same temperatures other than of course 50, well same, no rain, but partly cloudy skies with 58 for your high. Looks like over the weekend though, colder weather definitely moving in. Look at that Saturday. Now some are predicting snow. There's only a 20% chance of showers, so we possibly will not see any flurries at all, but it's going to be cold enough. 37 for the high and 23 for that low.
All right, it is a Wednesday, the day before Valentine's Day, and the day before Zeke up at Pizza Inn feeds us tomorrow in here.
That's
so
right. Call
Silky
Blossom's
chocolate
Florist
pie.
in Ardmore.
Yeah,
Place those orders.
Ardmore must be the place to be. Zeke, got the florist. And don't forget, on Wednesdays, you get 10% off down at Roy's Place. Just mention anything about the program. What is your subject today?
Well, this is Heart Health Month. Not only is it Valentine's Day, which is about hearts, but it's Heart Health Month, so we're going to talk about heart. It is absolutely going to be the most important product that's ever been put on the market. And
you need to give some of that to the Pope over there because he's got heart problems. That's the reason they're saying that
85.
he's resigning.
Well, we could help him if he'd just open his mind. You know, there's some interesting things I think people should know about your heart. How important is your heart? Let me give you some facts and you decide. Number one, the human heart averages 72 beats per minute, 4,000 beats per hour, 103,000 beats per day. Can you imagine that? That pump beats 103,000 times a day.
Well, if I skip one.
That's what some of them do.
Some people
That's
do.
when they don't have heart. That's approximately 2.5 billion beats in a lifetime. Your heart pumps almost 2,000 gallons of blood per day, 700,000 gallons per year, and 48 million gallons by age 70. Your body contains about 5.6 liters of blood. That entire amount circulates through your body 3 times every minute. In one day, the blood travels 12,000 miles. That's 4 times the distance across the U.S. from coast to coast. Buddy, that machine that God built for you called your heart is one incredible thing. We've made some cars that'll do 300, 400, 500,000 miles. Don't come close to the human heart. And the difference is your heart literally rebuilds itself completely, every cell, every 11 to 12 months. Now, what is that heart manufactured from? It's manufactured from specific nutrients that's in this product right here. And if you put those specific nutrients back in your body on a regular basis in the right amounts, your heart will constantly rebuild itself and make itself better year after year after year, so you can live to your genetic potential of 120.
What?
That's my goal. Hang around and see if I make it.
Well, none of us in this building will be with you, but what are some of the worstest things you can do to damage your heart?
Oh, smoking, without any doubt. Start right there. Smoking is the worst thing you can possibly do. The second thing you can possibly do is take drugs. I'm talking about pharmaceutical drugs.
Oh, thanks.
Those things called cholesterol drugs. They're absolutely a negative for your entire body health. They destroy muscle tissue. The number one thing that you can expect to have if you take a cholesterol-lowering drug is muscle wasting disease. What is your heart? It's a muscle. For God's sakes, don't take a drug that destroys it in the name of heart disease. How stupid is that? Now, that's just my opinion. I'm not a medical doctor, don't claim to be. You know why? I know more than they do about nutrition. I'm not talking about drugs. I don't know more than they do about drugs, but I know more about nutrition. And I know this, your drug, your heart is not dependent on a cholesterol drug for survival. That's insane. Your heart is dependent on nutrition.
How big a deal right now is cholesterol with folks?
Well, I mean, it's been made a huge deal. However, I want my cholesterol at least 250 or above all the time. And the reason I say that is in the countries where people are living an average lifespan, some of them 105 to 115 years, every time they check their cholesterol, it's above 200. So you need to think it through when they tell you need to get your cholesterol below 130. One of the things that Dr. Rath proves in his book is that cholesterol is not why you develop a blockage. Now, your body uses cholesterol, collagen, and calcium is part of the blockage, but why does the blockage get there in the first place? And what he proves in this book is that you get the blockage because your cardiovascular system does not get the proper nutrition. Therefore, the arteries and the veins too begin to deteriorate, but the arteries are where the pressure's at, so they begin to crack and bleed. Your liver produces the cholesterol. Remember this, you don't get cholesterol from what you eat. 76% of the cholesterol in your body comes from your liver. Why? Well, it produces the cholesterol based on your body's needs. If you need some sticky cholesterol to stop up that cracked bleeding artery, your liver produces it. But why does it produce the cholesterol? Why is the artery bleeding? That's due to nutrient deficiencies. And I could read that to you right out of the book. But get the book and read it, Why Animals Don't Get Heart Attacks, But People Do. Listen to this. During the last century, cardiovascular disease became the #1 cause of death in the industrialized world. Worldwide, over 1 billion people have died from heart attacks and strokes. That's a billion. It says because the main cause of cardiovascular disease has remained unknown until now. The cardiovascular disease epidemic has continued to spread on a global scale. This book documents the scientific discovery that provides the solution to cardiovascular disease epidemic. The solution. Nobody has to die of cardiovascular disease anymore. Nobody has to die from cardiovascular disease anymore, according to who? Dr. Matthias Rath, who was a cardiologist, a scientist, and was able to reverse all heart disease in every single patient using the nutrients that's in heart. For crying out loud, folks, don't you owe it to yourself to protect that pump that's so important, that keeps you going all the time? And let me give you some other examples. Not only do we have every nutrient that Dr. Rath talked about that you need for cardiovascular health, we added some things like resveratrol. Have y'all heard of resveratrol? It's a red wine extract. It comes from grape seeds. A recent study presented at the National Meeting and Exposition of the American Chemical Society has found that resveratrol, a nutrient compound found in grape skins, blueberries, and red wine, can improve motor coordination and help prevent falls among the elderly. They gave it to mice, y'all, and older mice that had trouble crossing a beam in 3 weeks flat had the same coordination as mice much younger than they were. So I'd take resveratrol if it was me. But another big thing is diabetes. You know, diabetes is destroying America's health. It's going to cost us so much money that we're going to go broke. Resveratrol shown to treat and cure diabetes. Now, I'm not saying that. In another amazing study recently published in the journal Nutrition Research, researchers out of India, isn't it interesting inside of India? India is the nation that if you get diabetes type 2, they call it a 90-day disorder. What does America do? They treat you with expensive drugs, and you have to prick yourself and give yourself shots for the rest of your stinking lives. What's that all about? Why don't we get excited about something that they're using that says right here, resveratrol also helps fight and even cure type 2 diabetes by normalizing the hemoglobin levels in the blood. Compared to diabetics receiving only oral hypoglycemic drugs, diabetics taking resveratrol for 3 months experienced dramatically improved blood sugar levels. The same trial patients reportedly experienced, listen to this, both lower blood pressure levels and improved blood cholesterol levels as a result of taking resveratrol, which confirms what numerous other studies in years past have found concerning the nutrient's incredible ability to fight chronic inflammation, improve cognitive function, promote longevity, boost heart health, and target disease-causing free radicals, among other benefits.
So you got a problem with cholesterol?
I got a problem with how they treat cholesterol. I think that the way you treat cholesterol is to understand, number one, it's a naturally occurring thing that goes on in the human body based on your needs. I believe you should balance your cholesterol by taking in the proper nutrients, and then your liver will only produce the right amounts of the two types of cholesterol, the LDL and the HDL, so that you remain balanced. Folks, give us an opportunity at Herbs and More. Combine your MSM plus C with heart, and I'm telling you, you watch, you'll get better medical reports every year for the rest of your life.
And 10% off each and every Wednesday. Go by and you might be lucky enough to catch Roy in there because they're always packed down that way. So go by
I'll
and
be
see
there
Roy,
today.
Seth, Molly, and a whole bunch. You'll be there all day today.
Most of the day.
All right, so go by and see Roy down there. 15 years ago, Roy.
15 years, that's awesome.
I'll keep my
I've
good eye
known you
on
long, you've known her.
Matter of fact, me and you
y'all
go
have been
back
together longer.
to 96.
Yes, sir.
96 or 95. It could have been the end of 95. Let me back up here. Long time.
We just like
Long time. Hey, Saturday morning I went down to Applebee's. So Zach was on the radio. Zach, our sports director, he'll be with us tomorrow. He'll be explaining all about the Bama football players. Pulled up, like I said, there's a big crowd.
Everywhere.
I said, man, this many, as I told y'all yesterday, I said, this many people watching KAC, listening to that. Well, they were there for the Elkmont deal with the pancake breakfast, so I want to share some video. Kel Abernathy right next door over here where he lives. He's a farmer's agent here, a great guy, big Bama fan too. Tim Lambert, they were sitting there. But here's Zach doing his thing on the radio. We'll be back in just a moment. Y'all hang on.
East Limestone is Bridget Wilson. She signed with Alabama Southern. And in soccer, of course, Athens, a good year last year. They sent Claire Phillips and Grace Morgan across country. Clements, Allison Jay signed with UAH. So,
Grace Morgan from UH. I've known her family for years. I graduated with her aunt, and so that's a good family. I'm glad they're doing well. And I got Jamie Cooper sticking the camera right in my face right
here,
here.
and we appreciate that. We got who needs Tim Brando when you got Tim Lambert? Tim Lambert's our producer, keeps everybody working on the right path, so we appreciate that. But I wanted to ask you too, Zach, about Jeff Stoutland, offensive line coach, former coach at Miami. He's been with Alabama a couple of years. He left to join the Philadelphia Eagles staff. Talk about who might replace him. I feel like they'll just plug somebody new and just keep on. What's your thoughts on that?
That's what Coach Saban does. I mean, when he hired his defensive backs coach, everybody was wondering who he'd replace Jeremy Pruitt, and I wasn't too happy with at first getting Greg Brown. It's like the defense coordinator at Colorado, but you look back and he's put a lot of guys in the NFL, so he knows what he's doing. And so, I mean, there's a lot of names. Stacey Sherrill, Coach William at LSU, and former Auburn player, and it's now at Texas. Heard his name, Will Friend, offensive line coach at Georgia, played Alabama. Even Chris Samuels is down there as a grad assistant. I don't know if he'll get his degree in time, but so Coach Saban's got possibilities. So us as Alabama fans, we can get on message boards and worry and this, that, and the other. Coach Saban's got a plan. We just need to sit there and just deal with it and be happy who we get.
That's exactly right. We're up against the break. We're going to take a break and come back. This is Applebee's Tailgate Talk on the Big 1080 WKAC.
Now, what do you know about sports?
I don't know as much about as Zach Green does.
You know you're stealing my sports director here.
Hey, we're big time at Applebee's Tailgate Talk, WKAC. So we appreciate everybody listening. Yes, sir, we are. From 10 to 11 every Saturday, and we replay the Athens High School basketball broadcast.
You know what, Tim?
He's plugging you.
I also already plugged.
Gig for you.
This is a non-paying gig, just like, zero like what you pay me. But I did plug ZTV 11, Cooper and Company, Tuesday through Friday.
Contract stating that you must be approved by me or Gloria for you to go.
Well, I asked y'all Thursday before I came up here. We said okay.
So be sending his check to me now.
Hey, we'll just work together on this.
Okay.
Yeah, so what are y'all talking
It'll
about?
be in the mail.
We're talking about some Alabama recruiting. We may be talking some Elkmont softball. There's a fundraiser going on here, and maybe some Athens High School basketball. We carry that on WKAC, and we replay that at noon on Saturdays and Sundays, so invite everybody to listen. So appreciate you guys coming out,
So
too.
what's your job, Tim? What's your job?
I'm a producer extraordinaire.
Well, Zach, you know I'm going to predict Bama's going to win the third national championship this year.
Number? everybody just
They
get
might
ready.
go ahead and give it to him. We just
Everybody-
shouldn't even have to play.
Everybody just ready to start get rid of those 15s and get 16.
You know, it just ain't fair. We have to buy new stuff every year where Auburn has to do it every 50.
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
We were not. Let's say all thing about it. Auburn had a good recruiting year, so they did a lot of good things with quick staff
Now, what
that he
station
put
is it
together.
your sports director on?
Sports director is ZTV 11. My boss is Jamie Cooper.